Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and tomorrow we begin the Guardian Games. So what I want to do is break down how the event works, some of the rewards we're going to be able to get, an exotic weapon that we're going to be able to earn during the event. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing that is going to happen is when you start the Guardian Games, we're going to go up to Eva Levante and she's going to give us our class item. Now this class item is what is going to represent you and allow you to make progress during the Guardian Games event. Now you'll notice each class item has a metallic section to it, and it can either be in gold, silver, or bronze, and the color of the class item that you're wearing is going to actually show you live basically what status your class is in. So if my Titans, Crayon Eaters, are in third place, then I'm going to be running around with a bronze emblem a lot, which is just kind of my way to know that, hey, maybe I need to work on some more stuff, see if we can help out the Titans a little bit more, and see if we can, rise up to silver or gold status. But when you log in every day, your class item is going to change if you have an update, or it's going to remain the same. But when you log in each day, it will be reflective of your status from the previous day. So keep that in mind. When you log in, you don't even have to go to the tower, which has some other information to it. You just literally pull up your character on inventory and see where things are at as of that day. So that's a pretty cool way. They're actually showing you live as you go through. Now, the other thing to know about the class item is the class item changing gold, silver, and bronze will fluctuate as classes do more or less things throughout the event. But when the actual event ends, the material color of your class item, say if hunters are gold, warlocks are silver, titans are bronze. When the event ends, and if that's where they're standing on the last day, that locks your class item into that material type. So if titans finish in third, your class item is going to be bronze indefinitely. So it's pretty much just going to be stuck in that nature. So if you want to walk around and say, hey, we're the best class, you might want to make sure you represent your class as much as possible and try and help them win this competition. So if hunters are walking around saying we're the best, but then a warlock walks up with a gold bond for a class item, they're like, check the scoreboard. Going to be one of those things you might want to play a little bit more, or try and get your friends to play on the right characters for these next few weeks. Now there's another thing in the tower that is going to be updating as we work through Guardian Games. Every day when we log in, there's going to be a podium kind of statue in the tower, and you'll notice this picture here shows all three reflection ways basically the winner can be reflected. The Titan is going to be the lion, the bird is going to be the warlock, and the snake is going to be the hunter. And that's kind of reflective all throughout this thing. But depending on where the classes end up, if hunters end up in first, at the end of the event, the statue is going to have the snake in gold at the end, and it's going to be stuck that way in the tower, kind of representing that hunters won the 2020 Guardian Games. So again, there's going to be a permanent fixture in the tower at the end of this, also showing which class won this thing. So again, if you want any bragging rights, that thing's going to be noticeable for all to see. Now there's one more thing to note for updates, and it actually shows it's going to update throughout the day, and that is the class flags. So behind the whole event kind of podium whole situation, there's one flag for each class, and depending on your status throughout the day, they said that's actually going to be more of a live update. So I don't know if it's going to be like changing every hour, if it's going to truly be live, like if I turn stuff in and I push this up a little higher. One person's probably not going to make that much of a difference, but maybe they will be moving and fluctuating throughout the day, but the flags are actually going to be moving throughout the day. You can actually see if you're getting close, be like, hey, all the Titans get on, do all this stuff, let's get a push here, see if we can make a, final push for the day, something of that nature. Now, during the competition, the way you are basically going to be able to compete is, one, you have to be wearing your class item to make progress in these, quote, medals. And it states a couple of things in the Guardian Games kind of guide that they've put up. So one, players can pick up medals from Eva and complete them. Probably something similar to what a bounty pickup is going to be like. Turning completed medals into the tower podium will increase your team's daily score. Now, for the medals themselves, it says Eva's daily reward packages will only be available to players who participated in that day's competition and deposited at least one medal. So there's going to be a little clarification in how this is going to be a farmable activity, if there's multiple things that you can do. They also state daily reward packages do not stack. Eva holds at most one package for players at a time. Now, I have two questions about that I'm very curious to see answered. One, if you can only hold one package at a time, if you pick this up, you do your whatever you've got to do, run 3 strikes, shoot 100 things with a sniper rifle, go do who knows. and you can only hold one. People on console are going to be loading in and out of the tower a lot, so I am sorry if that is the case in advance. I play on PC. There are some advantages, but trust me, I have some disadvantages, as I'm sure you've heard about now. So I will definitely be curious to see how the daily reward packages stack, if it's just a one-time thing, or if that's our repeatable thing, and you got to go back and forth to the tower a lot. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to feel about that until I get my hands on it. The other thing they state are called laurels. Again, we'll have to know how this works when we get our hands on it. They say pick up laurels dropped by other players during Guardian games to complete medals and advance your team's ranking. I don't know how they drop them. They're not very clear on that. If you're playing in an activity and they die, do they drop their laurel and then you pick it up? Not entirely sure. Laurels will drop in all activities except Gambit and Crucible. And that's why I'm wondering if either your buddy dies in a strike that you're running in and he drops a laurel, then maybe that's a good thing for you. Or if you're in, and then they say Gambit and Crucible, the more competitive thing because people are going to be dying a lot, they say they reward those at the end. So laurels are still a big question mark to me and how those are going to work for players dropping them. But instead, the Gambit and Crucible awarding them, still unclear, and that seems to be related to the weekly quest as well. So laurels will need to be something that's figured out. So again, stay tuned. I will do more explaining as soon as I know and basically log in on Tuesday. I'll be streaming live on twitch.tv/Ebontis, but I'll also make a guide as soon as I know how all of this works, so stay tuned on the channel. Now, Bungie states there's going to be a calendar, I'm guessing more of along Twitter or on the Bungie blog somewhere, that they're going to show the winner for each day throughout the event. Now, what I'm wondering is how the scoring is going to go, because if you get to a point during the 3 weeks, 21 days, that, you know, one class wins the first 11 days, then it's impossible for the other classes to win anymore because, you know, you've got the majority of 11 out of 20. So I don't know if it's going to be like a accumulation of the number of days that you win, or if it's just an overall scoreboard where it's like just points and somebody could make a final push in the end and try and really come back. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Waiting to get a little clarification on that one. Hopefully when this thing begins, we'll see a little bit more. But as of right now, there will be a calendar both on Twitter, probably, I'm guessing, and then also on the Bungie blog. I would assume at least one of those two places will have that calendar. I don't assume a calendar is actually going to be showing up in-game. That might look a little strange. So look for that one out there on some of the digital spaces for the calendar, showing how the days are progressing. Now, outside of the class item itself, there's also going to be some Guardian Games armor. Looks like this may be the Eververse set, as you guys can see. But it has the very specific, you know, stylings of Guardian Games. I'm kind of digging the emblem of Guardian Games. So you've got kind of the 3 rings that are going up. Kind of gives it a bit of an Olympics type feel, but, you know, not too copyrightish. But you've got the red, the blue, and the yellow, one representing each class. And they each kind of have their very metallic face masks, you know. Titan's got a decent looking shoulder pads now. They're not looking kind of busted, but they all have that kind of like textured leather look all throughout. Kind of very cool and unique. Not quite Sparrow Racing League. That's like, you know, very tight nylons basically, but this is definitely showing almost like dress robe type, you know, kind of like your dress apparel, something along those lines. Looks very cool for like an award ceremony or something like that. So I'm digging these looks. Don't know if I'll buy all of them, but definitely might buy the one for my Titans, since that's probably what I'm going to be running. I've been running that a lot for a while. Now, outside of the armor, outside of the class competition, there's one main reason why many of you are probably going to be wanting to jump into the Guardian Games, and that's the Heir Apparent machine gun. Now, the description, as they, you know, say it on the webpage, is you fall into second place as you reach for the last trick in your arsenal. The low hum assures you that you've pulled the trigger. It begins to spin, slowly for a moment, and then in an instant, blindingly fast. The roar of the Heir Apparent rises above the crowd, the tide turns, and the glory of your class is secured. So that's kind of a cool description about the weapon itself, but this is a heavy machine gun, it looks like for sure. There's a little bit of footage I'll put up on right now, kind of slow it down or play it a couple times so you guys can see it. But it actually looks like a fairly stable machine gun, which is always a good thing because sometimes those are a bit wily to control. And honestly, the art on this thing is pretty fantastic. I like the look of the gun. They basically have taken a Cabal, I want to say it's the Colossus minigun, and given it a little bit of golden flair to it. Overall, it looks really, really cool. I don't know if the picture I'm showing you guys is an ornament or the one that you earn, but either way, this is going to come directly through Guardian Games. And as it's a heavy machine gun, and potentially by like data mines and stuff, the idea is it has to spin up to full speed before you can fire it. I think it might be arc, but don't hold me to that. But the other perk through data mining, which we're going to know in about a day or two, is the fact that this is actually potentially going to put up an arc shield when you start spinning up at full health. So starting this thing at full health, I don't know if you're going to be able to move around, but moving with a mobile arc shield seems like it actually could be fairly powerful. Definitely giving you a little bit more of a you know, beefiness when it comes to either a PvP fight if you've got a shield in front of you and you start firing, or just in PvE if you're trying to like put out a lot of damage, but in turn not take a lot coming in. So it has potential to be very cool. I'll be curious if it is arc, how it pairs up against, say, 21% Delirium, especially because it's exotic. So overall, pretty excited about this exotic. I'm not sure if it's going to be a lengthy quest, if it's one where you accumulate enough of the, you know, event currency so that you can buy it. And the same way we've done with the Vow and other things before. If you get enough Guardian tokens and you need like 300 or something, are you going to be able to buy the gun? Are you going to be able to start the quest? Won't know, but again, stay tuned to the channel and definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't yet. I will be kind of following along, streaming this one live as we go through. So stay tuned. I will be covering this one pretty live on Tuesday, trying to catch up and knock out as much of this can as quick as we can. Eververse will be part of the event this time around, but not completely overbearing. I mean, they're going to have some stuff in there. It seems like they're going to have the Guardian Games like armor set, which you're going to be able to purchase if you want to. I think there's going to be an emote. They do state there's going to be 2 new ships and sparrows in there as well. So a couple different options of Guardian Games, you know, apparel and cosmetics that you can work on earning. But the nice thing on the other side is there's going to be a couple exotic ghosts that you can earn. Keyword earn there. And it says, complete Ava's weekly exotic quest to claim one of the 3 exotic ghosts. Complete all 3 weekly quests to gain all 3. So over the course of the event of 3 weeks, there's going to be a weekly exotic quest and you can earn the 3 different ghosts. Now, I don't know which exotic ghost is going to go with which week. If there's, you know, 1 week it's the Titan, 1 is the Warlock, 1 is the Hunter. We're just going to have to see. If you want all 3, you can go through. The big thing I'm hoping for the exotic ghosts is the fact that they do have the Guiding Light perk, which is the 10% experience boost, which if you're wearing a ghost that doesn't have that on there, you're extremely missing out. And of course, the other one is Speed Demon, so all sparrows are basically instant spawns. If it's not having those 2, sadly, the exotic ghosts, while looking cool, aren't going to be doing a whole lot of use for me. We'll have to see what the perks are on the exotic ghost, but at least we can earn them through the exotic quest from Ava. So I am pleased to see that one, as opposed to just being 100% Eververse. The bonus. So the final thing from this is the Bungie Rewards kind of box that we're going to be able to buy. So it's the Guardian Games box that we can purchase. It actually does look fairly cool. What I can see is you've got 3 different pennants, 1 for each class. Now, I can't tell you how big these things are going to be at all. I don't picture them being huge, but still a little pennant for your class, especially if you win, could be kind of cool. It definitely looks like there's a pin in there. If you guys have ever ordered pins for any of the seals, I don't know if it's going to be quite that quality. We'll have to see what the price point is. But representing Guardian Games could be very cool, especially as it's the inaugural. It also looks like there's something kind of like a postcard or a lore page or something in there. And then below that, it looks like we've got a towel. Now, the towel is kind of cracking me up, but, you know, if you're working in Guardian Games, getting all sweaty, maybe you need that towel. Kind of a joke, but, you know, a Bungie towel, why not? I could definitely use to wipe my brow sometimes, so why not do it with a Bungie towel? Not entirely sure, but still seems kind of cool. Nothing else. This is an optional one, probably if you complete, it says if completing one of the On Your Laurels quests, the weekly one, that you're going to unlock this. So you'll probably be able to do it any of the 3 weeks, just only have to do it one time, I'm sure. And then you can buy this crazy little box and see what it has inside it. That pretty much wraps this thing up. I am going to stick the little trailer that they had here at the end so you guys can see that. So that's where I'm going to let you guys finish this one out. But if you did enjoy the video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you got questions. You guys can find me on twitter.com/Ebontis. I will be streaming quite a bit for Guardian Games and then working on other things. So twitch.tv/Ebontis. And then right here on the channel, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and also hit that alert bell if you are a subscriber or not yet. That's going to make sure my videos actually make it to you, kind of make it through the YouTube algorithm into your feed. So thank you all very much for the support. Have a great one. We are climbing to 50K. We are not that far away, so please hit that sub button if you haven't. Enjoy the trailer, and I will see you all very, very soon on Tuesday on Twitch.
Welcome to the Guardian Games. These games are Zavala's way of bringing us all together to celebrate. And enjoy the games, my friend. You deserve it.